Well, hi everybody, and welcome to Moodle Support Theater. We ran out of time. We had so many cool new features in version 3.3, so we're going to continue in this second video and show you a couple more. Now, the big hit from the last episode was the one we did where you could change all of your assignment dates, quiz dates, all of that when you bring them in from one term to another. Well, let's come up here to the gear symbol in the upper right hand corner and let's take a look at these course completion guidelines. Now, I prefer the default activity completion so I can set all of the things together. For example, for all of my assignments in the class, and I'm going to come up here and choose Edit, I'm going to ensure that I set the conditions I want. The default is students can manually mark the activity complete. I like to show the activity is complete when conditions are met, and in this case, the student must submit the activity. A bit of advice: don't worry about the expect completed on. You're going to be giving a deadline in the due date of the assignment. There's no need in doubling up. Actually, the number of items you change, and in this case, since it's a video, is only one. You may have 14 or 15 showing here. Save the changes and everything is under control. Let's come back to the main page and let's turn our editing on for these next two features. Let's scroll down a bit and go to our active week. We can tell the week is active by the bar on the left-hand side. And I'm going to add an activity or resource. Scroll down just a little bit and the journal is back. This was gone for a while. It's been improved and returned. I'm going to double click. I'm going to call this journal Field Experience. I'm going to use Control C and Control V to copy some information from a Word document. Notice the days available, and I'll show you this when we get to the front page. This is in the active week. Now, you can extend this for up to actually a year. You can extend this for an incredible amount of time, and if this is prior to or after the active week, you're going to see that you aren't able to enter. So consider the days available very carefully. Give a grade if that's appropriate. That can be done. So let's say save and return to course. Now notice here we have field experience, and I'm going to give it a click. And here you can start or edit the journal entry if you're a student. Let's come back to the front page. I put another one outside of the guidelines. You are not able to enter content during this period. Let's come back to the front page. Let's come back to add an activity or resource, and let's scroll down just a little bit. I want you to meet the scheduler. The scheduler is really nice. A lot of layers of value here. So I'm going to call this project. I'm going to simply paste in what I did the last time. This is the introduction to what is involved. The scheduler is if you are going to have either one-on-one student meetings, if you're going to have a project presented, if you're going to have team presentations, if you're going to sign up for an activity in the field. This is how you can do it. You give the guidelines in the introduction. If you're doing, let's say, a sample interview, so the teacher would be acting as the employer. The student can set up, in this case, one appointment. No, we're not using groups, but you can if you're using a group project. The guard time is interesting. That's how long in advance this locks and students can't cancel. How long the meeting's going to be, I'm going to say we're going to give 45 minutes for the interview. Do you want to send notifications back and forth? That is something that is appropriate, and you can determine if notes are going to be confidential. You have the option for a grade, and the booking form is kind of interesting. This is if they have to submit a resume or if there is material required, as you would see in a real-life situation. They can enter a message, they can upload files, and you can even limit the size. And again, your activity completion when conditions are met, and you may choose to use a grade. Again, the expect completed is something you really don't need to do. So once you select this, students have the ability to log in, and you will get a list of those students who need to make an appointment. You can send them an invitation, you can send them a reminder, and here's the schedule by students. Students simply have to click on the schedule item and they can make their appointment. And I'm going to want to take the 1500 time slot, and I am going to save those changes. You can make an appointment for a student. The student can make it for themselves. Let's come back to the front page. One thing that's kind of interesting, and I'd like to share it with you, and this is new. Let's look at an existing assignment. And let's look at the remind me to grade by. This is something you can enable, and I've put in some ridiculous dates here, but this is useful if you find yourself with a lot of activities happening at one time and you've made a promise to your class you're going to get these grades out by the 28th, as you see in this example. This will appear, and we'll go to our dashboard to take a look at that. And it shows that you have Chapter 4 to grade, that there's 3 items that are still remaining grading, and again, this is always on your dashboard. Can be very, very useful. You can separate it by timeline or by specific courses. Now, if you haven't had time to watch all the videos, on your very front page, you're going to find faculty basic guide and some guides to the cool new features if you want to review these, or if you prefer to read instead of watching a video. In either case, if you got questions, stop on by the Center for Instructional Support because, hey, we're here to help.